Good day everyone. We are the Group 3 representing the TQM tools and techniques discussing the iOS 9000, 9001, and 14001, DMAIC model, CPOC diagram, PERT, and CPM.
Hello, I'm Joy Marcoleta. This slide 1. The International Organization for Standardization, ISO, was founded in 1946 in Geneva, Switzerland, where it is still based. Its mandate is to promote the development of international standards to facilitate the exchange of goods and services worldwide. The ISO Technical Committee 176 developed a series of international standards for quality systems, which were first published in 1987. The fourth edition of ISO 9001 was released in the year 2008 and can replace the third edition ISO 9001 to 2000, which had been amended to clarify the point in the text and also enhance the compatibility ISO 14001 to 2004. The explanation. Founded in 1946 in Geneva, Switzerland, the ISO purpose is to create international standard to facilitate the global exchange of goods and services. Slide 2. The ISO 9000 series of standard is generic in scope. By design, the series can be tailored to fit any organization needs, whether it is large or small. A manufacturer or services organization, the ISO 9000 system is designed as a simple system that could be used by industry. Other systems have been developed that are specific to particular industry, such as automotive or aerospace. This system used to ISO 9001 as the basic framework and modify it is their needs. There is currently 3 other quality systems. The explanation. Standards are designed to be adaptable to various organizations regardless of size, large or small, or type manufacturer or services provider. It aims to broad adaptability across industries. Slide 3. Concept of ISO 14001. This standard provides organization with the elements for an environment management system, EMS, which can be integrated into the other management systems to help achieve environment and economic goals. It describes the requirements for registration and or self-declaration of the organization. EMS demonstration or successful implementation of the system can be used to assure others that can appropriate EMS is it place. It was written to be applicable to all type and size or organization that can accommodate diverse geographical culture and social condition. As previously mentioned, the requirements are based on the process and not on the product. It does, however, require commitment to the organization EMS policy, applicable regulation, and continual improvement. The explanation. ISO 14001 provides a framework for organizations to establish, implement, maintain, and improve their EMS. This helps them achieve both environmental and economic goals.
The DMAIC models is a roadmap for Six Sigma used to improve the quality of results that company processes produce. The letters DMAIC are short for define, measure, analyze, improve, and control. These 5 parts are filled in by following 12 steps, which guide you through the process. So, DMAIC is a structured data-driven methodology used to improve existing process, especially when the root causes of problems aren't immediately clear. So, when the word structured, ibig sabihin, may maayos na pagkakasunod-sunod. And data-driven, nakabase sa mga datos or information, hindi lang ula o kutob. So, here's the 5 phases of the DMA or DMAIC model. The define phase, describe the problem that need to be solved and the weight the problem has for the organization or business. Organize the improvement team. D stands for define the problem. Sa define phase, ang focus natin ay linawin ano ba ang problema o sa trabaho or work process na gusto mo or dapat i-improve. Lahat ng delays, delayed report, output, delayed processing, delayed releasing, delayed response, etc. Lahat ng delays dapat ma-solve or ma-solusyonan. So the second one is the measure phase. Goal of the measure phase are to define the defect and collect baseline information regarding the performance of of the product or process, define goals for improvements, and ensure there is a proper system for measurement in place. So, M stands for measure. Ang focus natin dito is to gather relevant data. Kapag na-define mo na yung problem na gusto mong i-address or yung process na gusto mong i-improve, obserbahan mo ng 2 to 3 weeks at i-record mo ang mga data. So, the third one, which is the analyze phase. The goal of the analyze phase is to determine which process parameters or inputs have the most effect on the theoretical process results or outputs. So, A stands for analyze. Aaralin natin yung mga data, yung mga insidente ng delays at quality issues. Aaralin natin ang mga root cause or ang pinakaugat ng dahilan kaya nagtatagal, kaya nagkakaroon ng mali-mali. In the analyze phase, ang focus natin ay ang mag-imbestiga. Kapag mali ang mga root cause na na-identify natin, hindi magiging effective kahit na ano ang solusyon na i-implement. The fourth one, which is the improve phase, the main goal in this phase is to identify opportunities for improvements substantiated with information on the way these improvements help achieve the project goals. I stands for improve. Ang focus natin dito ay maging innovator. Na-measure na natin sa point A yung current state. Dadalhin na natin sa point B yung end state. Alam na natin yung root cause ng delay or quality issues. Ngayon gagamitin naman natin ng creative thinking para mag-isip ng paraan para ma-address natin ang mga root cause or dahilan ng delays or errors. The fifth one, which is the control phase. The goal in this final part of the DMAIC model is to implement the chosen solution and make sure these are ingrained in the organizational process. Share the solution with other stakeholders who face similar issues as well. So, C stands for control. I-monitor natin if successful ba ang solution, may significant reduction ba ng delays or defect. Kaya itutuloy natin ng data gathering, i-compare natin yung sitwasyon bago tayo mag-introduce ng improvement at dun sa resulta after we implemented the improvements.
What is a CPOC diagram? A CPOC diagram documents an operations, suppliers, inputs, process, outputs, and customer. A list of these elements helps to mark the boundaries of a process at a high level. The diagram provides the decision markers with crucial information about the entire process without going into too much detail. CPOC helps to streamline workflows, identify and solve problems, and remove wasteful activities. It does it through process visualization and limiting the information to only what's required for management to find the process areas that need improving. The CPOC diagram came from the Total Quality Management movement in the 1980s and was adopted by Lean Management and Six Sigma practitioners. It usually applies to the measure phase of a DMAIC exercise. Ang CPOC diagram ay isang tool o kasangkapan na ginagamit para may larawan ang kabuuang proseso ng isang operasyon. Ang S sa CPOC ay nangangahulugang supplier. Ang I naman ay inputs at ang P ay process at ang O ay outputs at ang C ay customer. Layunin ng CPOC na ipakita ang proseso sa isang malinaw at pinaikiling paraan para mas mapadali itong maunawaan ng mga gumagawa ng desisyon at magtukoy agad kung saan ito dapat i-focus. Ginagamit ang CPOC para i-streamline o ayusin ang daloy ng trabaho, matukoy ang problema sa proseso, tanggalin ang mga hindi kailangang aktibidad, bigyang linaw kung sino ang involved sa bawat bahagi ng proseso. When is CPOC useful? Given the multitude of factors on which your business success depends, you should take every opportunity to ensure smoother operation and higher customer satisfaction. CPOC will show you the direct relationship between what you're asked for by the customers, what you get from suppliers, and how you're marrying to the two in your process. Sa madaling salita, kapag hindi malinaw kung saan nanggagaling ang problema sa proseso, halimbawa na lamang, mabagal ang serbisyo, maraming reklamo ang customer. Magandang gamitin ang CPOC para mag-visualize ang buong sistema mula sa umpisa hanggang sa dulo. Ang CPOC diagram ay nagiging kapaki-pakinabang o useful sa mga pagkakataong kailangan mong mas kadali, mabuti at mapalinaw ang takbo ng operasyon ng iyong negosyo. For example, maraming salik ang nakaka-apekto sa tagumpay ng negosyo, tulad ng kalidad ng produkto, bilis ng serbisyo at kasiyahan ng customer. Kaya malaga ang tools tulad ng CPOC para masigurong maayos ang daloy ng trabaho. At isa pa, tinutulungan ka ng CPOC na makita ang connection sa pagitan ng kung ano ang inihingi ng customer at kung ano ang binibigay ng supplier at kung paano mo ito pinagsama-sama o pinaproseso para makabuo ng output.
PERT chart. PERT stands for Program Evaluation and Review Technique. PERT chart is a project management tool used to plan, organize, and coordinate tasks in a project. Paano nga ba gumagana ang isang PERT chart? Ginagamit ang mga nodes at mga arrows para i-represent ang mga task and dependencies nila. The nodes represent tasks and the arrows represent dependencies between tasks. Later on po, magbibigay ng example si Cherry. But this is the benefits of a chart. PERT chart. PERT chart help us to clarify task and dependencies. Second one, to determine the critical path of the project. Third one, to improve scheduling and resource allocation. And lastly, to complete the project on time within the budget. So that PERT chart is the important project tool na makakatulong sa atin sa pagplano at pag-execute ng mga projects. Thank you.
CPM stands for Critical Path Method. Is a technique used to identify the longest sequence of tasks in a project. Karaniwang ginagamit ang CPM when you are doing or completing your project schedule. So, ang pinaka-importante dito sa CPM na ito ay ang kailangan mong maintindihan at maunawaan na every parts, every schedules, every durations ay kailangan mong matupad in through the deadlines na kinakailangan ng project na yon. Nang sa ganon, hindi ka magkaroon ng aberya o problema. Mamaya ay papakita ko ang isang example ng isang CPM. But ngayon, tingnan muna natin ng example ng isang PERT.
Ngayon, dito naman tayo sa PERT example. Meron tayo ditong project scenario na you're managing a small project with the following activities. Ito yung step 1 natin. Yung step 1 natin is i-identify lahat natin yung mga project scenarios or activities niya. May apat tayong activities dito, which is the activity A, B, and C, and D. Dito, meron din tayong predecessors, meron tayong optimistic time, meron tayong most likely time, meron din tayong pessimistic time. Sa activity A, wala siyang predecessors, pero meron siyang optimistic time na 2 days, meron siyang 4 days na most likely time, meron siyang 6 days na pessimistic time. Sa activity B naman, meron siyang predecessors na A, meron siyang optimistic time na 1 day, meron siyang most likely time na 2 days, meron siyang pessimistic time na 3 days. Dito naman sa activity C, meron tayong predecessors na A, meron tayong optimistic time na 2 days, meron tayong most likely time na 3 days, meron tayong pessimistic time na 8 days. Tapos, dito sa activity D naman, meron tayong predecessors na B and C, tapos meron tayong optimistic time na 3 days, tapos meron tayong most likely time na 4 days, meron tayong pessimistic time na 5 days. Ngayon, pag na-identify mo na lahat to, pwede ka na mag-proceed sa next step. Is the step 2, ika-calculate mo na yung expected time ng each activity. Sa expected time naman, meron tayong formula dito na TE equals optimistic time plus 4 ulitin ko, may formula tayo na TE equals optimistic time plus 4 most likely time plus pessimistic time divide 6. Tapos, i-identify natin lahat yan yung apat na activities. Yung activity A, meron siyang optimistic time na 2 days. I-add mo yung 4 and multiply by 4 days na most likely time niya, and i-add mo din yung 6 days na pessimistic time niya, i-divide by 6 siya. Ngayon, pag na-add mo na yung 2 plus 4 times 4 plus 6, makakakuha ka ng sagot na 24. Then, yung 24, i-divide mo siya sa 6, makakakuha ka ng 4 days na expected time niya. Sa activity B naman, meron siyang optimistic time na 1 day. Tapos, i-add mo yung 4, multiply mo siya sa 2 days na most likely time niya plus 3 days na pessimistic time niya divide by 6. Pag na-add mo na yung 1 plus 4 times 2 plus 3, makakakuha ka ng sagot na 12. Then, i-divide mo siya sa 6. And ang magiging sagot niya is 2 days. Yun yung magiging expected time niya. Sa C naman, activity C naman, meron siyang 2 days na optimistic time. Tapos, i-add mo yung 4 multiply by 3 days na yung most likely time niya. Then, i-add mo din yung 8 days na pessimistic time niya. Then, divide by 6. Pag na-add mo na yung 2 plus 4 times 3 plus 8, may sagot ka na makukuhang 22. Then, divide by 6, makakakuha ka ng sagot na 3.66 days na expected time niya. Then, sa activity D naman, meron siyang optimistic time na 3 days. Tapos, i-add mo yung 4, then multiply by 4 days na most likely time niya. Then, i-add mo yung 5 days na pessimistic time niya, divide by 6. Pag na-add mo na yung 3 plus 4 times 4 plus 5, makakukuha ka ng sagot na 24, then divide by 6. Then, ang magiging sagot doon is 4 days na expected time niya. Pagkatapos mo makuha yung mga expected time ng bawat activities, magpo-proceed ka naman dito sa step 3, yung find all possible paths. May dalawang paths tayo dito. May path 1 which is A to B to D. Yung expected time na yung i-add mo dito, yun yung mga expected time na sinolve mo sa step 2. So, sa activity A, meron tayong 4 days na expected time plus i-add mo lang yung expected time ng activity B, which is yung nakuha mo 2 days. Then, i-add mo yung 4 na expected time ng activity D. Then, 4 plus 2 plus 4, makakuha ka ng 10 days. Sa path 2 naman is yun yung A to C to D. Yung A, meron siyang expected time na 4 days. Then, i-add mo lang yung 3.66 days ng expected time ng activity C. Then, i-add mo yung 4 days na yung 4 days ng 4 days ng expected time ng activity D, which is the 4 plus 3.66 plus 4, makakukuha ka ng 11.66 days na expected time niya. Then sa step 4 naman, find the critical path, find mo yung critical path. So yung critical path, yun daw yung longest path. So the one that takes the most time to finish. So based sa mga na ano natin dito sa step 3 na solve natin, yung path 2 yung pinaka mahaba, siya yung merong pinaka longest path. So which is the A to C to D na merong 11.66 days. So yung summary natin dito, yung expected project duration niya is 11.66 days. Then yung critical path niya is A to C to D.
Now, let's move on to CPM example. Our example is organizing a birthday party. You have the following tasks to prepare for a birthday party. So, each table meron tayong task, description, duration days, and predecessors. Sa task A, description niya is choose a venue. Duration days niya is 1 day, predecessors niya is wala. Task B, description niya, make guest list. Duration days niya is 2 days, predecessors niya is wala. Task C, description niya is send invitations. Duration days niya is 1 day, predecessors niya is B. Task D, description niya, order a cake. Duration days niya is 2 days, predecessors niya is A. Task E, description niya is decorate the venue. Duration days niya is 2 days, Predecessors niya is A. Task F. Description niya is receive cake delivery. Duration days niya is 1 day. Predecessors niya is D. Task G. Description niya is set up food and setting. Duration days niya is 2 days. Predecessors niya is E. Task H. Description niya is party time. Duration days niya is wala or 0. Predecessors niya is C, F, and G. Now, let's move on to step 1. Draw the network. Here's the flow. Path 1, A is to D is to F and is to H. While path 2 is A is to E is to G and it's to H. While path 3 is B is to C is to H. Now, let's move on sa step 2. List all paths and calculate durations. Let's find all paths from start to finish. So, si path 1 is A is to D is to F and is to H. So, si A, ang duration days niya is 1 day. Si D, ang duration days niya is 2 days. Si F naman, ang duration days niya is 1 day. While si H naman, ang duration days niya is 0. Pag pinag-add mo silang lahat, ang magiging sagot mo ay 1 plus 2 plus 1 plus 0 equals 4 days. Ang duration day. Si path 2 naman, A is to E is to G is to H. A, ang duration niya is 1 day. E, ang duration niya is 2 days. G, ang duration niya is 2 days. While H, ang duration niya is 0. Pag pinagsama-sama sila or inad sila, 1 plus 2 plus 2 plus 0 equals 5 days. While si path 3 naman, B is to C is to H. Si B, ang duration day niya is 2 days. Si C, ang duration days niya is 1 day. While si H, ang duration day niya is 0. Pag pinag-add silang lahat, 2 plus 1 plus 0 equals 3 days. Now, let's move on to step 3. Identify the critical path. The longest duration path determines the project length. So, based sa pag-list natin ng mga paths sa step 2, we identified that the critical path is the path 2, which is A is to E is to G and is to H, with a total duration of 5 days. Therefore, here's the final answer. Critical path is A is to E is to G is to H. Project duration is 5 days. Task with slack is B, C, D, and F. And that would be all. Thank you and God bless.